The most influential people in history all shared something in common. They use Aristotle's model of persuasion. So I've spent an entire week digging into the most powerful books, studies, and psychological theories to find out how they do it. Let's start with number 1, ethos, aka persuasion through credibility. In 1961, John F. Kennedy participated in the United Nations General Assembly. There he said this: "Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind." His words became a beacon of peace and started a worldwide movement. That's rhetoric for y'all. The art of speaking or writing in a way that convinces and impresses others. There are 3 main types of rhetorics. A. Chiasmus. This is what JFK used. Basically, you take 2 words from a sentence and then you flip their order in the next one. But he was not the only politician who used this type of rhetoric. We also have Obama saying this instead of this, and George W. Bush saying this instead of this. B. Diacopes. Basically, you start a phrase with a word or multiple words, and then you finish it with the same ones. Just imagine if Shakespeare did it like this: to be or not. It's not as orally pleasant, nor as powerful. Here's another great example.
Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
One of the greatest movie scenes of all time, yet it's literally just a dude saying his own name. C. Anadiplosis. Here you take the end of one sentence and then you repeat it at the beginning of the next one. Look how Yoda uses it here.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Overall, all rhetorics make your sentences more symmetrical. This symmetry makes your speech sound smarter, more organized, and more intentional, which naturally makes it more persuasive. Now, let's be real, you can't overuse rhetorics. It will make you sound weird. Yet, in order to maintain a powerful speech, you should copy what the top lawyers do. Ditch the hedges. What does this mean? In communication, hedges are words or phrases people use to soften what they say. They give off uncertainty and undermine your ability to influence others. It's better to speak in absolutes. So instead of saying, "I think we were supposed to meet at 10, say this: "We were supposed to meet at 10. But if you are not 100% certain, what should you say? Start a phrase like, "I might be wrong," and then continue speaking in absolutes. Now, as a bonus, take a look at these 2 lines. Which one sounds more powerful? Psychologically speaking, this one is better. Past tense implies transience, aka a state that only lasts for a short time. The present implies continuity, making your phrase sound everlasting. But it's very hard to persuade someone by just changing the way you speak. Most of the time, you also need number 2, pathos, aka persuasion through emotion. In 2002, a bunch of researchers wanted to find out how much they can use positive emotions to manipulate restaurant customers into irrationally spending more money. To begin the experiment, they had a waiter leave a peppermint near the bill. As a result, most of the customers left a 3% bigger tip. In the second phase of the experiment, they made the waiter leave 2 peppermints near the bill. The result? Well, the tip was now 14% bigger. But that wasn't enough for the greedy researchers. So they tested one more thing. This time the waiter was going to leave 1 mint, get away from the table, but then come back and say something like, "You know what? For you nice people, here's another mint." The tip was now 23% bigger. All of these are based on the reciprocity principle. Basically, when you do something nice for someone, someone will do something nice for you. But what if you don't feel like doing anyone a favor? Well, you can use reciprocity by giving them a compliment. To make it memorable, use contrast. How? Instead of saying that someone is an angel, say that they are an angel in a hell-like city. See the difference? Now, it might seem a little unethical to be nice to others just so you can influence them, but there's a more ethical way. There was a series of negotiation studies carried out by Adam Galinsky between 2 groups of students. In the first one, the students started to negotiate immediately. Here, only 55% came to an agreement. In the second one, the students first got to know each other before the negotiation. Here, 90% came to an agreement. So before you ask someone for a favor, try to find a common ground between the 2 of you. This can be anything like sports, politics, cars, etc. Yet, there are some people who can't be persuaded by using credibility and emotions. For some, you have to use number 3, logos, aka persuasion through logic. To better understand this, let's look at the story of Asbury Harpending, an adventurer and financier involved in one of the biggest scams of the 19th century. In 1872, when he was in London, he received news about the latest discovery of the biggest diamond mine in the USA. One so rich that it had the potential to produce $1 million a month. After this news, he traveled to the United States, only to find out that the land of the mine was owned by two modest men, Philip Arnold and John Slack. After figuring out that they didn't know the true value of their land, Asbury only offered them $700,000 in exchange for the entire mine. They happily agreed and took the money. A few weeks later, Asbury started to dig, and dig, but nothing. The mine was apparently a fake. Philip and John brought diamonds worth $12,000 and just planted them at the surface of the mine, fooling Asbury's entire team of experts. The secret behind their success is called the complacency effect. What is this? When someone underestimates a threat or a danger, in our case the intelligence of the two men, they become less alert and less prepared to respond. How can you use this? For example, if you are in school, try to be a model student for a few weeks. Your teachers will assume that you're always responsible, so in the future you can turn in your homework later or put less effort in class without facing the same consequences as others. But what if the other person doesn't let their guard down? Well, here you can use the foot in the door technique. Basically, if you want to ask someone for a big favor, don't ask it directly. Make them agree with a smaller request first, then ask for bigger and bigger favors. Yet, one of the most powerful ways to persuade people is by showing a sense of authority. To do that, you first need to earn their respect. Fortunately for you, I have a video just for that.